welcome to Studio A. It's Kansas City After Hours, starring Darron Story and Cara Kahn. Tonight's guests, film director Kevin Willmott, film critic Shawn Edwards, Scott and Adam from Scrape the Plate, comedy troupe Tantrum, music from Marnie Brzezinski, with special guest DJ JT Quick. And I'm Andria Leah. Now please welcome your zany co-hosts, Darron Story and Cara Kahn.
Happy to have you guys here.
Well, I just damn near wiped out there just for a second.
You okay, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
Welcome to the show. Well, you know, it is, we are close to St. Patrick's Day.
We are close to St. Patrick's Day, yes.
What do you normally do on St. Patrick's
Nothing.
Day?
I'm a Jew. What the hell do you think I do? Nothing. It has nothing to do with me. What do you do on St. Patrick's Day?
I'm black. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. Great. Anyway, hey, listen, I was just thinking, my name used to be first when I was when we were announced, and now it's not. Can you just explain that to me, why that's happening?
It was a typo.
Oh, okay, cool. Good. Excellent. Excellent. No, but I did hear, getting back to St. Patrick's Day, there's a new parade route, is the rumor?
Yeah, it's going through Westport now.
All
Westport
right.
area. How does everybody feel about that, going from downtown to Westport? Or do you even give a damn?
Westport's so fun. I give a damn. Westport's really fun.
I like it because I think it gives Westport a boost.
Absolutely.
Ever since the Power and Light District, everybody, nobody goes to Westport anymore, Power and Light District.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they don't do that. But anyway, they get sad. Okay. Anyway. No, I think it's cool. I think it's cool that it's going through Westport. I do. It's a nice, fun area. I lived there for a long time.
You
liked
did?
it there.
Where
Yes, I
did you live?
Whatever. Anyway, we have a great show tonight. Kevin Willmott is here, Shawn Edwards, Tantrum, and much more.
Go to break. We'll be back.
Just do up next. Yeah.
Welcome back to Kansas City After Hours.
It is time to get out on the streets and see what Kansas City is talking about. Let's watch.
What's up, everybody? This is Darron Story, not the aforementioned Anita Cordell. We're out on the streets once again, but this time we're in Lawrence, Kansas, and we're at BDC Tattoo. Yeah, I look like I should be in a tattoo parlor. Are you getting something done in here today?
I actually just got my nose done, and I need to get it looked at.
Are you guys friends?
No, we just met, actually.
Cozy. What if, like, you got a tattoo of me?
I don't know how much I would like to have a tattoo of you for the rest of my life. I mean, you seem like a great person, but I just don't know if that's something I'd want to have forever.
All right, we've got little cat messing around with the deal here, and we're here at the Love Garden in Lawrence, Kansas. We're hanging out in Lawrence. You know, some of you don't know this or not, but you know, like, I was in a group. We had like a #1 record and all that stuff. So I'm looking in used CDs to see if we're in here, and I bet we are. I bet. Just watch this. Find it. Can I speak to the manager, please? You don't have Low Key. Early 90s, #1 record. I got a thing for you, baby. Ow. We're here with Bailey. You got Benny who?
Benny Mardones.
And what did he sing?
Into the Night. It's a song from my mother's age, of course, but...
What's your GPA?
I do not know.
I bet it's high.
I guess so, yeah.
You seem very smart. Now, is there anything else you're going to buy?
I'm actually looking for a Gino Vanelli.
I just want to stop, tell you how I feel about you, baby. That's the jam, girl. Come on, give me some skin. We are here, still in Lawrence, Kansas, hanging out at Silas and Maddie's. Silas and Maddie's. But we are here with who?
Ann?
Bess.
Bailey.
Alex.
Your name is Bailey? You know, just talk to somebody named Bailey. So, ladies, let me ask you a question. It is like 4 degrees outside, okay? And you're over here eating ice cream. What's that all about?
It's so good.
What is your major?
Art history. I like art, but I can't do it very well.
Okay, so you plan on getting work?
No.
Okay, all right. So you like basketball?
I like Matt Kleinman.
Who the hell is Matt Kleinman?
Hold on, can I take out one?
Tell me about Matt. Tell me about some of his intimate details about Matt. What do you know about Matt?
He's a ginger. He's really tall and hot.
Oh, this is the youth that will shape tomorrow.
You're watching After Hours.
Later on, comedy from Tantrum, film critic Shawn Edwards, and local film director Kevin Willmott when Kansas City After Hours returns. Don't go away.
Tonight has written and directed several films, including 9th Street and his latest project, Bunker Hill. He's also a professor of film studies at the University of Kansas. Please welcome Kevin Willmott.
Kevin, how are you?
Professor, nice to see you.
Right.
How are you? Welcome. Welcome.
Professor Willmott.
Professor Willmott.
You
don't call me that.
No, what do the kids call you?
Just call me Kev.
Okay, let me ask you, Kev. Do the kids, the students, if you will, do they Google you and know all this stuff about you? Do they ask you a million questions about? I mean, you've had a great past. You've been really impressive in this industry.
Well, you know, they probably do, but we don't go there because it's just too weird.
Do you like? Okay, if you had to choose one career, if you had to choose one thing, directing, teaching, acting, producing. You've had a lot of hats.
Sweeping floors.
Sweeping floors. That's
Sweeping
typically the one I'm
floors.
doing most of the time.
What would if you had to choose one?
Well, I tell you, I think writing is the funnest thing.
Writing.
You know, I mean, in terms of, it all starts with the script, right? You know, and that's when you have the most control. Actually, is when you're writing a script.
That's usually where we make our first mistake.
I write the show.
Do you write your own? Sorry, bro.
You just laughed at me right on my own show.
I did not.
It was my fault for setting you up for that.
I just fell for it. I'm just,
Okay, Kevin, when was the moment, where were you at, what movie was it that you watched when you said to yourself, I want to be in that business?
Well, I wanted to do this a long time. And when I was a kid, when you'd go to movies as a kid and you would see the WB, and, my brother, I have an older brother, and I turned to him one time and I said, WB, I could be like the Wilmott brothers, and he thought I was out of my mind. and then, probably the movie that really hit me was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. With Clint Eastwood,
That's what did it, huh?
Yeah, and my brother, another brother story here. I asked my mother for my birthday for the soundtrack to the album. I was probably like 9 years old. And again,
that's some heavy stuff for
he said, I knew it was over with then that you were going to some weird path. That,
now, did he choose a similar path?
He works at the post office.
Okay. So yes.
Yeah, it's
that makes total sense to me.
Yeah,
Makes total sense to me. Let's talk about Bunker Hill, your latest project. I read the description of the movie, the plot, and I didn't know if it was a thriller or a suspense or a hatchet movie, or it's got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts. Tell me about it.
Well, Bunker Hill is kind of like a Twilight Zone episode a bit, It's about a small town. I based it on Bunker Hill, Kansas, which is an actual town that does exist. About 50 people live in Bunker Hill. And I wanted to kind of base it on a town that did exist to give me that reality, to some degree. And so what happens is there's been some kind of event. We don't know what it is. All the lights have gone out, all the power's gone out.
That's my house when we don't pay the bill.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's true, I've been there. It's awkward.
There's the telephones don't work, cell phones don't work, nothing works. No cars work. Cars don't work.
And this is different from the real Bunker Hill house?
Well, it's that fear that we have now, I think. After 9/11, we've always wondered if something else happen again. And so I put it in this little bitty small town. So all those post 9/11 fears that we all talked about and have and are still dealing with get to be expressed through this little bitty town.
Wow.
Interesting.
And the star of the movie is Jane McDaniel.
Yes.
Who was on NYPD Blue.
Yeah, Lieutenant Fancy.
Yeah, you remember the large black man.
Not to be confused with this one, the other.
Or this one over here.
Or that one, excuse me. I'm sorry, Professor
Yeah.
Willmott. I didn't mean to.
You are larger than me, I assume.
I'm not even gonna, I would say I'm not even gonna touch it, but that's, moving on.
Yeah! Okay, that's a show
Always
killer.
end up there. We just always end up there.
But you're from Junction City, Kansas.
Yes.
So you're a Midwestern guy.
Yeah, well, you know, Junction City was a great place to grow up. And, you know, Junction City was diverse before people knew the term diversity. You know, it's an Army town. We were the only people in town that were not in the Army. So it gives you a different perspective. But yeah, you know, Junction City and living in this area has been really great for making films for me, because really the community that we've been able to build here, Kansas City, Lawrence, KU, it's really enabled me to make these films.
All right.
That's great.
Do you think
great.
me and Cara could be in your next movie?
You know, when I was in the green room, something just kind of hit me.
Really?
Yeah, you know, and it wasn't with y'all, but but it was a really good idea for another movie.
Like a,
Thank you, Professor Willmott.
okay. You're out of here. No, I'm just ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Willmott. Look for his movie Bunker Hill coming up soon. And coming up next, national film critic Shawn Edwards will be back in a flash. Welcome back to Kansas City After Hours. Our next guest is a great Kansas City story. His love for film has made him one of the most respected film critics in the country. Please welcome Shawn Edwards.
Welcome. Nice to see you.
Kiss her.
I'm good, thanks.
Of course.
Mwah. Mwah. Thanks
Gotta
for
do it Hollywood
being
style.
here. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Where's the coffee table? I need
I know, I'm sorry. We don't have anything to offer you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's
This is real low
we
budget.
need a
Have
bailout.
seat. Yeah. Have a seat, enjoy
No,
it,
this is
let's
nice,
talk.
though. This is hot.
Good.
You like this?
Excellent.
I feel like I'm in L.A.
Do you?
Excellent. Good. That's good.
Yeah, of course.
That's good.
Well,
All
thank you.
right.
Got a studio audience popping off.
Yeah, we're not messing around here.
This is good, man.
Right? This is no little local mom and pop thing. We have
Let's end this on a high note.
viewers.
I'm out.
I know.
Good right
I know.
there.
What a lot of people, some of you may not know that Shawn and I actually went to high school together.
I don't remember
But
you.
you're much
Yeah,
older.
but I'm
How much older are you?
okay.
Dude, you're older than
I'm
me.
older than him. He came in a little bit
Yeah, I
behind me.
played the under. I was the young pup. He was the big dog. He trained me. He showed
Right.
me the ropes.
I
That's
see.
right. Don't forget it.
Yeah, I have
Don't
it.
forget it.
That's why I'm sitting on this couch. Is nice too.
But knowing, yeah, it's a nice
nice.
orange.
Corinthian leather.
Corinthian. Nice Corinthian leather.
5 popcorn bags right here.
5 popcorn bags.
Yeah,
Thank
There
you.
you go.
But I never knew when you were growing up that you would be doing this. Where the hell did this happen?
I didn't either.
So when did it start?
I started in 2000, actually. The TV gig started in 2000. I was a writer, an editor at the Pitch Weekly. Wrote movie reviews, music reviews, and, you know, did my thing. I was a behind-the-scenes guy. Because, you know, at the Pitch back in the day, you can go to work in your pajamas. You can go to work with, you can go to work with no clothes on. You know, you can go to the grocery store. People don't know who you are because all you have is a byline in the newspaper. So I was living
Right.
life. Writing about movies, anonymous, chilling. And I got a call from
Not
Fox
more.
because a guy by the name of Doug Moore used to do the movie segment, and, you know, Fox wanted to go a younger route. So I got this mysterious phone
You're
call.
not young anymore, though.
Yes, he is.
No,
He's still
cool,
younger than
man,
you.
yeah. No, but
Well, everybody's older than me.
not
according to you.
really, not
younger.
really, but, you know, they wanted to
Younger.
go a younger route.
Right.
So I got a mysterious phone call from one of the producers that worked at Fox that used to read The Pitch, and they were like, "We really like your movie reviews. Why don't you come in? Let's have a conversation." I had no idea. I thought they were gonna I was gonna do a segment or they were gonna do a story on me. And so then they pitched the idea for me to take over for Doug Moore, and then I was like, okay, cool. But one thing, I was like, you guys do know I have no TV experience whatsoever. You know, I took broadcasting courses in college, but I mean, that was years ago.
Wait a minute. He has no TV experience whatsoever. It sounds like us a little bit. A little bit.
No, but it was funny because then, you know, everything got worked out and they said, would you like to start? And I was like, when? They were like, Friday, and it was like Wednesday.
Wow.
And then
That's no messing around.
no, it's no messing around. But 10 years later, it's still going strong. Screening room. It's
Okay,
a lot of
gotta
fun.
ask, what are some of your favorite movies that you've ever reviewed?
You know what? My favorite. I like the controversial movies because I like slamming
Such
bad
as?
movies like Norbit
Okay.
and Clint Eastwood's Gran Torino. Because I like when
Well, Gran Torino, some people liked. The
Gran Torino was bad. Let's not go there,
Okay.
though. I didn't like that movie at all.
Right.
I like it when people get opinionated about what we say on television, because that's the whole point. It's our opinion, and the people who watch the news, they have an opinion. But I like it when people disagree. It's always fun. Or when you discover, like, a little-known gem at the time, like Crash back in the day. Like, my partner and I were both like, oh, this movie is hot. And then it wins the Academy Award. Sort of like the same thing. We were the first people to really, like, give, like, Slumdog Millionaire, like, high praise, and then everyone discovered it later. Because I actually watched it, like, at the Toronto Film Festival, and then, like, 5 months later, it's, like, one of the hottest movies ever. Yeah, it is a good movie. It is a good movie. But I like when we create some sort of conversation, or when people disagree. That's a lot of fun. Get people fired up.
Sure.
Or they go on the internet
and people do
talk
get fired
trash.
up about movies. People
yeah,
get
they
totally
do.
Fired
Oh,
up.
boy, do they ever. I think one of the biggest movies people got fired up about was Passion of the Christ.
Yeah. Don't talk to a Jew about that. Don't even get me started.
No, not even that. Don't talk to anybody about it, because I thought it was just a mediocre movie, and a couple people said I was going straight to hell because I didn't give it 5 popcorn bags. But it's all good. JC and I have an understanding.
I got a question for you, which is a nice segue from what we were talking about.
Okay, good.
Because I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this.
Respond to what?
You have been criticized in the past for liking bad movies. I don't know what that means because it's all subjective.
I don't either. Yeah, it is all subjective.
But there's people that have blogged about you that you will say a movie's good just so it can be in the ad. How do you respond to that?
I don't create the ads. The movie studios create the ads. They're not going to put my name on an ad if I slam a movie like the worst movie ever in big font.
Well, I know that.
Advertisement.
But
so they only use, like every review that we do, the studios look at, and they only pluck the good stuff. They're not going to pluck the bad stuff.
Right.
Like, if I give a movie 0 popcorn bags, are you really going to see that in the television commercial?
I know that. That's my point. My point is that you give a review that's good to a movie that's probably in the consensus is bad.
No,
I don't
really,
know.
No, not really. I mean, because
There's no
there's
insincere,
a bunch of
validity
there
to
are a lot of guys. There are a lot of film critics out there. I mean, but if the studio decides to use something that I say about a movie, then, you know, they generally call us and let us know they're going to use that. I'm like, cool or not cool or whatever. But we don't control that, and it just depends. It's all over the map. I mean, I've had stuff like, one of my favorite movies of all time was Batman Begins. You know, I was all over that campaign, and that's a great movie. So it's really not up to us. It's up to the studios, and they spend millions of dollars advertising the movies. And a lot of that consensus come from guys who, like, they really hate the game. So, you know, you got to learn how to deal with haters, and they're everywhere. So, because a lot of people, they want to do what, like, my partner and I do. I mean, it is a fun job. I mean, we get to see movies before everyone else. We get to travel. You know, we get to hang out, you know, with people who make movies. So it's a lot of fun, and a lot of people want to do it, but we don't control that.
All
Now,
right.
on a lighter
I just
note,
throw
what
it
are
out there.
your,
I don't even care. I just throw it out there. If I like a movie, I like a movie. If I don't, I don't. And if they want to use what we say, hey, it's fine with me as long as we're quoted correctly.
All right, tell us what your go-to snacks are when you're watching a movie, and then we got to get out of here.
Twizzlers and popcorn.
There you go. You heard it here first. Twizzlers and popcorn.
Shawn
Andrea?
Edwards, everybody. Thanks for being on the show. Andrea, what's going on?
All right, Big D, up next is comedy from Tantrum and music from Marnie Brzezinski. This is Kansas City After Hours, and we'll be right back in 10 popcorn bags.
Welcome back to the show. Our next guests are one of the hottest improv groups in the city. Are you ready to laugh? Please welcome Tantrum.
We're going to do a piece called Infinite Possibilities. So to get us started, if I could get a location from someone. Somewhere specific in Kansas City. The Plaza. All right.
You can't shoplift those. But I want them. And I can't afford them. I'm going to have to ask you to give me those back and leave. I'm going to have to ask you to turn around as I leave, and I'm taking these shoes with me, or I'll have to hit you.
Honey, those are actually my clothes. If you're going to move out, you ain't taking those.
I need these.
You do not need those. I need those.
They fit me better than they fit you.
Double X. No form fitting. Why?
It's almost winter again. And then next year there'll be winter again, and I can wear big and baggy, and I'll look very good.
Not good. No curves. Mine.
What happened to all your clothes, man?
Gone. Took them. Don't fit her. Mine better. Hers bad.
I told you she was gonna steal all your stuff.
I know. Should've listened. My bad.
What? All right, welcome to Victoria's Secret. We're just gonna measure you. No, keep your arms down.
Bust or chest? Which is it?
Well, you do both, and then you subtract for the cup size.
Wow, this is confusing.
I can't believe they matched us on Harmony.com.
No kidding.
This is crazy.
Crazy.
It's like you're the love of my life.
Yeah. Want you bad now.
So bad.
Honey, you have to make sure that you find an equal or better mate.
Shut up, Dad.
Don't tell me to shut up.
I am 18. Honey, it's time for you to give our daughter the talk.
I've given her the talk. The neighbors heard the talk. Everybody knows I gave her the talk. Kids from around the neighborhood lined up in front of the front yard just to hear the talk.
Say it again, say it again.
It's the talk time. It's when a boy meets a girl.
And then they...
Can you give me my sister's talk again?
All right. When a girl grows up into womanhood, there's something that's like the stigmata.
You didn't say that right. That's not appropriate. I'm not showing you. We'll have to find it in a book. Honey, there are some things that your father told you wrong. Let's go to the drugstore.
No, I'm from the Vatican in Rome. We just wanted to take a look. Just take a look.
Don't touch it, though.
All right. No, that's definitely the stigmata.
Really?
Yes. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
You mean everything to me.
Oh, thank you.
And us. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
It's really you.
I know.
Okay, you and your stigmata. I got Jesus' face in a pancake.
What?
I'm just telling you, I got Jesus' face in a pancake.
Look, I didn't do this to myself, okay? I think you made that pancake.
I'm sorry. The eBay policy now prohibits transmission of religious articles.
It's not religious, it's a pancake with Jesus' face in it.
Right, and a lot of our Muslim users find that offensive along with other religions.
It's a...
We of the Knights Templar have come to take this visage unto our own. We're going to bury it with the Ark of the Covenant.
Is Tom Hanks gonna be there? Because he was real cute in Forrest Gump.
Yes! Tom Hanks is an honorary Knights Templar.
We would like to copyright your Jesus pancake so we can sell it here at IHOP. It's going to be our Wednesday special.
All right, but you can't put whipped cream on it.
We won't. It's part of the economic stimulus plan.
I can't eat this.
Well, we're not allowed to put whipped cream on it. It's sacrilegious. And that's Tantrum!
All right, I'm gonna stand over here. Great, good, awesome job. I like the Jesus and face of the pancake. That was good. Guys, how long you guys been together?
About a year and a half now.
Really?
We've all played together at various points in different troops, but we've been together as Tantrum for about a year and a half.
About a year and a half. And when you do improv, and obviously we were talking about this in the green room, that you really can't think about improv. It's just got to happen. But there has to be some energy that you guys get from somewhere. Where does it come from?
Alcohol?
Actually, that's a really bad idea.
I've been there, done that. Alcohol and improv?
Bad idea before a show. Great idea after a show, however.
Okay, absolutely. So energy between you guys, I mean, is it that quick?
It really is.
Yeah. We have a good bond and a lot of trust with each other, so we know that we can be playful and trust that others are going to support us, and we know a lot about each other, so we know what we can hit, and we'll pull something out of someone.
And you can really just do whatever you want and know that somebody will be there to support whatever you do. So
Absolutely.
There's no consequences for really whatever you do out there. Nice.
I guess you guys can say anything to one another, I imagine, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, on and off stage, yes.
Yeah.
I figured that you have to have that kind of relationship. Well, tell us where you guys are going to be. Month of March.
Month of March, we have a show we're doing a series of shows called Talking Out of Turn at the Kansas City Public Library. So March 18th and April 15th at 7, we're doing a free show at the Plaza Branch. And then every second Friday at the Westport Coffee House, we have a show at 8 o'clock.
All right.
And our website is tantrumkc.com for more.
TantrumKC.com. Give it up for Tantrum. Now here's Andria.
Remember, you can be a part of our studio audience too. Just go to our website, kansascityafterhours.com, or you can even email us at tickets@afterhourskc.com. Coming up, music from the talented Marnie Brzezinski. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We always like to expose fresh young talent, and our next guest is no exception. She's working on her first CD. Singing Shade of Blue, please give a warm welcome to Marnie Brzezinski.
Shade of blue is the only color in your universe. All of the other colors have no meaning in your world. You say that life has passed you by and now you're all alone. There's no one there for you to love. And from the inside looking out, a shade of blue is all you have ever known. Is anybody out there? Someone who cares. Someone who cares at all. Is anybody listening to the fears and the tears of the lonely as they fall? Chameleon spirit lives deep inside. It takes you places, but you always return. A journey ranges on separate stages, 1,000 pages of lessons and one more to be learned. You say the life has passed you by and now you're all alone. There's no one there for you to love. And from the inside looking out, a shade of blue is all you have ever known. So this is what they mean about knowing. When your heart's at its fall and you're up against the wall, a heart will bruise and lose and choose once again. It makes you wonder if you're numb and don't feel alone. Is anybody out there? Is anybody listening to the fears and the tears of the lonely as they fall?
Great job, Marnie.
Great job, Marnie. Great job. So I gotta ask, how old are you?
I am 18.
You're 18. You're a baby. You sound great.
Thank you.
You sound great.
So,
and I love the name Marnie. It's my sister-in-law's name. Hi, Marnie. Not that she's watching. No one's watching.
She
Go
might
ahead.
be watching. You never know.
Probably not.
Probably, because only 5 people watch us every week.
Got it.
Marnie, tell us about your musical influences. Who do you listen to?
I listen to Kelly Clarkson and Pink. Pink is probably my favorite singer. She's a big influence for me.
You like the rocker girls?
Yeah, and Janis Joplin. My mom listens to her, and she's been a big influence throughout my life. So
cool.
Is this what you want to do for the rest of your life?
I would love to do this.
Right?
Yes.
Really? Just sing, get on a bus, tour bus?
I think it'd be fun to travel and see the world and just sing.
I've done that before.
Really?
He really has. He's not kidding.
Yeah,
Did it work out?
Not so much, else he wouldn't be here.
Not so much.
Come on, Marnie, you can answer that.
I'm right here with you, standing right next to you.
Hey, best of luck, Marnie, on that note.
Thanks
But-
for the encouragement.
Yeah.
So, is there any place we might find you singing? I know you're working with Lisa Monet.
Yes.
Yeah.
My next show is actually April 3rd. It starts at 9 o'clock at DeCarlos Mustard Seed. It's off in
Okay.
Great. Good for
Independence.
you.
All right, everybody. Let's give it up for Marnie Brzezinski, everybody.
We'll be right back.
Yep. Welcome back. Our entertainment gurus are back with us once again. Here's Adam and Scott from Scrape the Plate to show us how to entertain a little better. Watch this.
Hey, good evening, everyone. We're Adam and Scott with Scrape the Plate Catering, coming to you from the Crossroads Arts District, ground zero for Kansas City's art scene.
Tonight is a very special night. It's the first Friday of the month, a night when thousands of people flock to the area to go to the many open galleries.
However, tonight we're more than just attendees. This evening we're throwing an art show for our friend and artist Matthew Kemp here at the Urban Living Center. The Urban Living Center is a downtown real estate office that provides space to local artists every first Friday of the month, which is perfect for Matt, who's going to tell us a little bit about his show.
Much of my artwork involves the interaction or lack of interaction that humans have with their environment. These pieces right here behind me are part of a larger series that I did a few years back that involved urban decay in St. Louis. This series that I have right here is much in contrast to the one that I just showed you guys, and it actually shows people interacting with their environment. I title it the Brevity of Life series.
While Matt's putting the finishing touches on his show, we're going to get started in the kitchen. One of our signatures is making slightly deadly and really delicious cocktails. Tonight we're going to make raspberry lemon drops. They're really, really simple, only 3 ingredients and really quick. Now for the base of these martinis, I like to use a frozen raspberry lemonade concentrate. The instructions on the can tell you to add 3 waters. Actually, if you add 2, the added sweetness will help disguise the alcohol in your drink and make it all the more deadly. Then we have 2 cups of Sprite. And lastly, an entire bottle or 1/5 of citrus vodka. Now I keep this in the freezer so that it's ice cold when I get started with my beverage right off the bat.
Now, one challenge of using a container this size is keeping the martini mixture cold throughout the evening. What we like to do is keep frozen chunks of fruit or citrus available at all times, and all we're going to do is place them in our martini mixture. As they thaw, they're going to mesh really well with the flavor and not water it down like ice cubes would.
With this art show in mind, I'm going to do a bite that the guests can actually take around and enjoy the art rather than being gathered around the kitchen. I'm going to do the much more mobile antipasto kebab. What I have here is some marinated mozzarella, some cherry tomatoes, some colossal olives, and lastly some marinated mushrooms. All we're going to do is skewer a couple pieces of our antipasto, and then onto the white platter they go, and they're ready to serve to your guests.
Now, Matt's event is a more laid-back affair, and we're only preparing a few platters of food. So we're going to avoid any involved tablescape that we would normally do for a larger catering event. So I created this really easy centerpiece. All I've done is gather art supplies that I had lying around the house, then taken a glass vase and placed florist foam in the bottom. To hide the foam, I lined the vase with paint color samples and filled the bottom with wood chips. I then tossed in whatever odds and ends I could find, like paintbrushes and stirrers, and small oil brushes. Lastly, I glued some paint chips to the tops of a few stirrers to create these faux flower blossoms. Now, after our guests have had a chance to view the art and have a few cocktails, it's important to keep the action going. I always like to have a small activity planned, and tonight we're doing one of my favorites. Perfect for an art show, but you can also do it for a dinner party or any other kind of special event you may have planned. All I've done is I've purchased a blank canvas from a local art store, along with some inexpensive acrylic paints and brushes. I then place the canvas on an easel and will encourage guests throughout the night to grab a brush and put their own creative touches on the canvas.
So as the evening goes on and guests come and go, I'm hanging back in the kitchen and have made a warm and luscious nightcap along with a sweet bite of dessert. First up, it's hot chocolate, spiked of course with a little extra octane. I've started with 2 quarts of 2% milk and 1 cup of half and half over a low heat, which I brought up to temperature. I then added 4 ounces of bittersweet, milk, and white chocolate, which I melted slowly over the low heat. Once that came up to temperature, I added 1 cup of peppermint schnapps. So now that everyone has had a warm drink, it's only fitting to end the night with a scrumptious bite of dessert. There are only 3 ingredients, but they're really flavorful and delicious. We're going to make dessert sandwiches. So to start off, we have a pint of strawberries that I have hulled and sliced. Then we have our favorite hazelnut and chocolate spread. And lastly, we have buttery pound cake that we got in the freezer section of the grocery store that we've allowed to thaw and then sliced into these sandwich-sized slices. What we're going to do is take a slice of pound cake, do a nice thick slathering of Nutella, one more slice for the other side of the sandwich, and then we'll place the sliced strawberries on one side. So you want to spray your griddle with a non-stick cooking spray. Onto the griddle it goes.
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
Controversial comic that never bites his tongue, and he's written a new book called The Greyhound Diary. Please welcome to our stage, James Inman.
How are you, James? How's it going?
Hi, James.
Good
to see you.
Hey.
Have a seat.
All right, The Greyhound Diary.
Yes.
All right, now you got on a bus.
Right.
Went everywhere you possibly could go?
All over, pretty much all over the country. It started when I was in Omaha. I just picked up a diary and I started writing in it, and I came to Kansas City. You know, because when you have to fly, if you have to fly right at the last minute, you know, they charge like $400. So I'm like, bus ticket to Omaha, Kansas City is like $9, right? So I'm like, I'm taking the bus, right? So I bought some diary for some reason, and I start writing in this diary. And when I got home, I realized, hey, this is all about the bus. So I was like, what I'll do is, instead of flying, because I had to go to Memphis, I had to go to New Jersey, I had to go to Toronto, and then I had to go to Seattle.
You rode the bus to Toronto?
Yeah, that's not the whole part. Then I had to go from Seattle back to Kansas City. So it was all over the country except for the Southwest. Like I didn't get down to the Arizona part of the country. But yeah, when you go from Toronto to Seattle, it's a 4-day trip. And first of all, you can't sleep on the bus. All right, it's impossible to sleep. And when I was going from Toronto to Seattle, I didn't get off to get a hotel or anything. I just went the whole way. I was keeping this diary. And when you can't sleep for 4 days, you start hallucinating. I'm not kidding. That's a drug-free high. And yeah, when I finally got off to Seattle, I mean, it was just like everything was like glowing in the dark. Yeah.
I'm curious about what kind of stuff you think you were seeing.
Well, the things I actually saw on the bus was crazier than. One time we're out in the middle of North Dakota. We're going down the highway 70 miles an hour, and this guy gets up from the back just out of the blue, walks to the front, and asks the driver to let him off at the side of the road. While we're going 70 miles an hour, and the driver's going, no way, you know, I can't let you off the side of the highway. It's like corporate policy or something. The guy's like, I don't care, let me off right now. The guy's like, no, sir, sit down. The guy grabs his hair and starts punching him in the side of the head while we're on the highway. And the bus is like, whoa! I'm like, everyone's like, holy crap. I don't know how he got the bus pulled over. They pull the bus over, they call the cops, you know, the cops throw him in the squad car. And then the cops come on the bus and they hand out this yellow notebook paper. They want everyone to write down a description, eyewitness account, right? So I made stuff up, you know, because I'm like, I've been sitting there for like, 2 hours. It's funny because right when they stopped the fight, because the two guys in front of the bus, they had to break the bus driver and this guy apart, you know, and the bus driver snaps, you know, he's like screaming at the top of his lungs. He's like, you just put 47 people's lives in danger. That's attempted murder. Now we're going to be late. And I'm like, the bus is always late. You know, what are you talking about? It's never on time. So I said, I know everyone's they're writing their story down, and I knew that once we hand this in to the cops, we'd be on the road, and the cops would be reading it later. So I made this story up about how the driver started punching him for no reason when he went up front to help a blind girl study the Bible.
Wow. So the inspiration to finally write the book. Now, when you first kept the diary, was the idea to write the book, or you just decided later?
I started the whole thing, and it was in an actual diary. So I found a girl that I was dating at the time. It was an excellent typist. And so
Did you meet her on the bus?
No. You don't want to date anyone you meet on the bus. What, are you crazy? So I gave it to her, and she types it all out. And I went through the whole thing and edited it down and took all the stupid parts out. And I just left the best stories in there of all the things that happened. Like one time we got lost. We were in West Memphis, right? And the bus driver is driving around, and people start talking, and we're like, that is the same gas station. We've passed that gas station 3 times. And we're, all of a sudden some kid in the back goes, "Mommy, are we lost?" And that's when everyone kind of figures it out. This guy is lost, right? And we were driving around He was looking for the Greyhound bus station. And I'm like, what kind of bus driver? The funny thing is, he actually pulled over and asked for directions. It's the funniest thing in my life. You got a Greyhound bus driver in a full Greyhound uniform stepping out of a bus and asking a group of people where the Greyhound bus stop is. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And finally, we found it, after it was 3 hours. The bus was 3 hours late.
Wow.
How long did it take you to write the book?
I wrote it over a period of time. Maybe it took me, I don't know, it didn't take me very long to write it, but it took me a long time to actually finally publish it and edit it all. Probably about over a year. I kept all the stories for about a year every time I rode the bus. But I did go all around in just a giant circle, pretty much of the country.
That's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Greyhound Diary.
Yeah,
You can go to JamesInman.com, right?
No, you can find it on Amazon.
Amazon.com?
Yeah, Amazon.com. Just type in Greyhound Diary or,
Will you ever ride a bus again?
You gotta think about that one, huh?
If I had to, yeah, I probably would.
Okay.
It's fun, people on a bus talk more than people on a plane. Sometimes you can sit next to somebody on a plane and they won't say one word to you. Right. But the people on a bus are just average people, and they got lives just like, I'm an artist, so, and they're smoking crack. I mean, we get along, it's
Give it up for James Inman, everybody. Greyhound Diary. We'll be right back. You're watching After Hours.
Our guests this evening, Willmott, Shawn, Tantrum, Adam and Scott from Scrape the Plate, and Marnie Brzezinski.
Join us next week for more Kansas City stuff on Kansas City After Hours. And remember, we can stimulate our own economy. Buy local because it's all right here in Kansas City. Good night and God bless everybody.